It's officially time for a new family ride, and this time we are looking at a truck. And we're deciding between two very different trucks. So, why a truck? Well, I'm a dad of three, and with that comes weekend projects, weekend adventures, sports, all the gear that goes along with the sports. We just hit a moment where a truck makes sense. It makes sense because it's fun, it's practical, it's comfortable, and it does all the things that we currently need it to do, as well as some of the things we want to do in the future going forward. So today we're putting the two totally different trucks on the table and seeing where we land. Truck number one, the 2026 Ram Rebel. And truck number two, the Tesla Cybertruck. Now I know right out of the gate, there's going to be people firmly in both camps, whether it be gas, whether it be electric, whether it be anti-Tesla, whether it be pro-Tesla, whether it be Ford is the best and Ram sucks, and everything in between. I get that. I'm not here to convince you. I'm here to talk out our decision-making process and maybe help a few people along the way give perspective of what just a regular family is going through. So let's start with the Ram, right? It represents the classic truck. I recently rented one in Colorado, spent a week with it, doing just standard, on vacation type driving, road trip type driving, into the mountains, into some parks, off the beaten path, and just got a good feel for it. It wasn't the Rebel, but it was a 26 Longhorn, so we got to get the vibe of the interior, the fit and finish, which, by the way, was very nice. Very roomy, very comfortable, both just kind of being in the environment, but also driving on the road. It was a smooth ride, soaking up miles easily. Plenty of room in the back for the kids. I have one in a car seat, and the others split the other bit of the distance, and it was fine. Me and my wife were comfortable in the front. It's what you would expect, a big, comfortable vehicle. And then there's the Cybertruck. This thing doesn't just feel like a different vehicle. It feels like a completely different genre of being mobile. It's just so different. Now, you might be asking, how can I be comparing a Cybertruck and a Ram? I currently drive a 2021 Tesla Model Y. It's been fantastic for us. I use it as my daily commuter. It's been very reliable. We charge at home, so it's been very economical in terms of powering it. So that infrastructure and that familiarity of an electric vehicle is already there. And so the thought process with the Cybertruck is, in theory, right, it gives me the capacity to have my daily driver economical kind of perspective, still fun to drive, cheaper to fuel, so to speak, but gives me the truck functionality whenever I want it and need it. Now, I don't have any boats or things like that I'm towing long distances. Of course, if I was doing something like that, I would probably be considering a different truck. But to meet the family needs, the types of adventures that we go on, day trips to 3-day trips kind of thing, it seems to fit the bill just fine, at least in terms of consideration. Now, how did it feel and how did it fit the family? Well, on our test drive, of course, the kids love the screen in the back. As a father, that's almost, it's something that I like and don't like. Like, I don't want them to have an $80,000 iPad, right? I can go buy them a couple $100 iPad and sit in a minivan and call it a day. But it's nice to know that it's there. And up front was very comfortable. Also very quiet, very comfortable driving experience in terms of the suspension. But the driving experience itself, my goodness, you have to drive it yourself to fully experience it. It's quite different with the rear steering. If you haven't seen that, look it up. The rear wheels actually turn as well to make your turning radius much sharper, which takes some getting used to, but once you do get used to it, it's so nice in a parking lot going to the grocery store, getting coffee, just essentially living your daily life, having such a big vehicle become so much more maneuverable than what we might be used to in the typical full-size truck. Also, the steering is steer by wire. And if you're not familiar with that, it is essentially, layman's terms, there's nothing mechanical connecting your steering wheel actions to the actual turning of the wheels. It's actually all the various computers doing it. In my 2-hour test drive, I would say that I was mostly used to it by the end in terms of what my brain was expecting, but it was still odd. I still would have to get used to it in daily driving. In terms of the fit and finish of the interior, well, again, very minimalistic if you haven't seen it. I typically like the standard gas-powered pickup truck interiors. Big buttons all over the place. I got compartments all over the place. Put my jacket down in the armrest cubby. Got waters all over the place. In the Cybertruck, that's, it's not busy at all. And I did find a part of me actually kind of missing some of the busyness. And I was asking myself, as I was in the Ram, looking at the dash and all the buttons and everything going on, what would I be missing in the Cybertruck that I'm getting here, right? If these buttons go away in the Cybertruck, can I not do the things? And I found myself thinking and coming to the realization that instead of touching a button over here on the dash, touching it here on the screen, I can still get to it. Now, there are some disclaimers to that, right? Like the air vents. Look, I'm going to die on the hill that physical air vents are better. Okay, it's cool that you can do it with the software. It looks neat on the screen, but can I please just grab it and move it? My goodness. Some of the old school stuff is still best, in my opinion. So in any case, kids love the bed of the truck. They love the tonneau cover coming over. They wanted to sleep back there. I had to bribe my baby girl with candy to get out of the back because she wanted to keep doing the button and seeing the thing move. And mental note, that might get old. But in any case, we had a good time. One of the things I think about with the Cybertruck, or just a truck in general, I do think of a truck as the ultimate utility vehicle. And gasoline, in my opinion, provides the ultimate use case for less stress in terms of, go out into the wilderness, go do what you want to do, leave your car there for a week, come back, and it's still good to go. And I've never done what I just said before. There's that adventure thing in the back of my head that's like, well, what if one day? So I do have second thoughts about a truck being electric in terms of being the ultimate utilitarian vehicle. So how did these two stack up in my recent test drive of the Ram and recent test drive with the Cybertruck? Well, they both have their pros and cons. There's things that I really liked about the Ram. It's comfortable, it's classic, it's familiar. Everybody and everybody I know, has experience with a truck. And then there's the Cybertruck, right? I mean, it's cutting edge technology. There's things it doesn't have, but the things that it does have are just at the forefront of engineering. And personally, I just think that's super cool. Or does my use case, lean more towards the Ram of, look, you got young kids, you got a family, this is going to be your daily driver. Probably just go with the classic tried and true truck. So in the next few videos, we're going to jump into a bit more of each truck and like the use case I just mentioned, what makes sense for us. Because at the end of this, I'm not just picking, hey, here's the opinion of the winner. I'm actually going to buy the thing. I want to show a bit of my decision-making process as I get there. I'm going to show you once we actually get it, and then kind of what life really looks like after we do get it. The hype dies down, it turns into a real daily, and what that looks like with 3 kids living the life that a family like ours lives. So if you want to go through this somewhat stressful journey with me, stress-free for you, hit subscribe. Let me know in the comments which one you would pick. If you have gone through this type of process before, let me know your thoughts, opinions, and suggestions. And, it'll be fun. Thanks for hanging out through the video. I appreciate it. This is Weekend Gold, and this is the process to get the new family truck.